this is going to be part of a small series that I'm going to be doing on gun ownership rights and also on the fear of rebellion, because this is something that is huge in the so-called truth and freedom community. People thinking that there is no such thing as lawful physical rebellion, or that somehow it couldn't work, or that somehow it couldn't be successful, or somehow there's no right to that. And I'm going to be trying over the next few weeks to completely and utterly bury and dispel that myth, which is what it is. It's a lie, it's a myth, and it's, quite frankly, New Age bull crap, okay, is what that is. So this series hopefully will put people on the right side of this equation when it comes to gun rights. And there is a right side to it. 100% black and white. There is a right, a correct, a moral side to this issue. And quite frankly, another part of the issue that I'm going to be picking, just as a brief aside before we jump into the presentation for tonight, there's people in other countries that are completely on the wrong side of this equation. There's a lot of Americans who are on the wrong side of this equation, but I'll tell you what, there are people in other countries like England, Australia, places that are allegedly part of the quote-unquote free world, part of the quote-unquote civilized countries of the world. And they're complete and utter prankster jokesters when it comes to this issue. I'm coming out with both barrels blazing tonight. I'm swinging for the fences, okay? Because I'm so tired of hearing people who have absolutely no idea what is going on when it comes to human enslavement, because their people have already been disarmed. These are little naive punk boys that have no idea what's going on in this world. They're not real men, and they have no idea what it's going to take to protect freedom. They're a bunch of jokes. So right off the bat, I'm coming out with that kind of energy. How about that, folks? All right? Because there's too many damn people in this world who don't understand gun rights. They don't get it. And there's a huge amount of women on that side of the equation too. And they're a big, gigantic part of the problem, especially in this country when it comes to the anti-gun lobby. Because they're cowards. They're cowards. You want to know what it all comes down to, folks? Right there. How about we get this all out on the table, right out in the open before I even start? Because I'll be going into this in depth in coming weeks. These people are cowards. They just have absolutely no courage, and they wouldn't stand up to tyrants. Well, you know what? I'll place myself in the company of the people who waged the first American Revolution, instead of in the company of people who are total cowards and won't stand up for their rights. They think they're going to talk their way out of slavery. You're little children is what you are if you think that way. Let me just say it right out in the open before I even begin the presentation tonight. Anybody who is anti-gun is pro-slavery. The end. That's all it really comes down to. How about that? Good night, everybody. That's all I really need to come out and say. If you're anti-gun, you're pro-slavery. The problem is, these are little naive punk children who don't even understand that. So, let me give the call-in number, because if there's time following the presentation tonight, I will be taking phone calls. I'm not going to guarantee that there will be, but we'll see. The call-in number to join us later, probably in the third hour of the show this evening, is 800-313-9443. Once again, the call-in number if you want to get in the queue and bring up anything you want to talk about regarding the Second Amendment and gun ownership rights. The toll-free number to join us here on What on Earth is Happening, 800-313-9443. And folks, you could tell I'm fired up tonight because this is an issue that too few people in the modern world fully understand because of all the mind control propaganda that they have been barraged with since the moment they fell out of the womb. Non-stop being hammered into the brain of these people. And they've bought it wholesale. because they don't want to take any personal responsibility for their own freedom, for the preservation of freedom, for the acquisition of it and then its preservation. And that's why they don't have it. That's why most countries in the world have not even a modicum of freedom and are openly enslaved, because they've been disarmed and they let themselves become that way. And they think it's so great that there's no guns in their country. They're a bunch of naive, childish clowns. You've been clowned, you've been had. If there's no guns in your country, that means slavery was perfected there. That's what that means, boys and girls. People say, oh, you're talking down to people. Yeah, you're damn right I am. Talking down at you. Because if you've let yourself be disarmed, you've allowed yourself to be enslaved, and you deserve to be talked down to. Till you grow the courage to remedy that situation. And let me tell you something, the powers that should not be in this world but currently are, let me tell you something. You're never going to get that done in the United States. You bank on it, boys. You're never getting it done here. Know it like you know the sun's coming up tomorrow morning. It ain't ever going to happen. I'll tell you what, not without unimaginable bloodshed.